Hi, I'm Wendy Crone, and this is my colleague, Professor Paul Wilson. We're both faculty in the Department of Engineering Physics, and I've invited Paul here today to talk about professional networking. So, Paul, why do you think a strong professional network is important?
A professional network, for me, it's important because it really amplifies your career. It lets you take what you know and amplify it by who you know. And so it really lets you get your message out there and have a broader impact, and helps that come back and influence your career.
Great. So you're probably a member of a number of professional networks. Can you talk about some of the different ones that you're involved with?
I'm a member of formal networks and informal networks. Formally, the most important one to me is the American Nuclear Society. I'm a member of that national society. I'm active in their committees and in their other structures. I present papers there and have a large pool of colleagues who are close friends. I'm also active in informal networks that are just the faculty of the University of Wisconsin here, people that I know and interact with here regularly, and I can share ideas and work with them closely.
And you might even think of even broader networks, so even your personal networks may influence your professional networks at some point.
That's certainly true. So personally, the people I have in my community, the people I interact with privately outside the university have led to connections that I may have taken advantage of professionally. I play basketball, and somebody I met on the basketball court is a faculty member here, and we've started to collaborate in certain ways.
So aside from all of these professional networks that you're involved with now, can you think back to when you first started developing your professional networks, maybe even as an undergraduate? Where did you begin?
As an undergraduate, I was seeking out professional networks. I probably didn't think of it that way, but I was looking for places to get involved. And having worked in my industry for one summer, I went back to my senior year and was looking for ways that I could become involved. And so there I had informal networks already, the people I lived in the dorms with and went to classes with, people I studied with. There was a close group of 4 of us that did a lot of things together. But then I also started to look at professional societies at that time, and got involved with student sections and involved with organizing events and student sections, student activities within a professional society.
Well, one of the reasons I asked you to do this interview was because I know that you created one of your own professional networks when you saw a piece that was missing. Can you talk a little bit about that?
So about 8 years ago, I got involved with organizing the North American Young Generation in Nuclear. This was a new organization that was really aimed at filling a gap for recent graduates in nuclear engineering, largely nuclear engineering, but we cast it more broadly than that to any professional working in the nuclear industry. And the purpose was that there was a lot of support for students in different kind of student type organizations, but there was a gap when people graduated and they didn't have a network. They went to their workplace and were suddenly cut off from the networks they had had before. So we wanted to create this opportunity so people had a network, had a place where they could interact and explore new ideas. And we broadened it up to nuclear professionals, what we called nuclear professionals, which was anybody working in the nuclear industry. So it wasn't just for engineers. It included people working in the financial part of the companies and the public relations parts of the companies.
Okay. Well, a person might not be ready to start their very own network, but they might be able to identify some organizations that they want to get connected with. What advice can you give to an individual who wants to get connected?
I think the very first step is to look, if you're a student, to look at student organizations. Most professional societies, which are an obvious place to have a professional network, have student organizations, have chapters of those societies that are on campus. And so there's a lot of opportunity there to get involved. And I think getting involved means not just attending meetings, but volunteering to organize events and putting on those kind of things. I'm the faculty advisor of the American Nuclear Society section here, and we're always looking for people just to do one-off events, maybe to organize one tour or one social event. And that's a way for them to get their foot in the door, start building that network. The network you create as a student with your fellow students, surprisingly, or maybe not surprisingly, actually can become a backbone to your professional network when you all graduate and go off to different places in your careers.
Sure. So as a faculty advisor for ANS, do you have any tips for students as they're connecting in and developing this professional networks just from that advisor standpoint?
As I said, to become involved and not to sit back and be passive, but to be active about it. Seek out opportunities, attend national meetings. Most organizations have national meetings, and student members often have, they create opportunities for student members to participate and attend those meetings.
And usually at a reduced cost.
Usually at a reduced cost. In some cases, there may be no cost. And so go to those meetings, and it's often a fine line between being too pushy and getting yourself involved and finding the right way to get involved depending on your organization. When I was a graduate student, I got involved nationally by just attending a committee meeting for the American Nuclear Society. It was a committee I was interested in. I attended the meeting, and after sitting through it for a couple of hours, I just couldn't hold my tongue any longer and decided to offer a contribution, and was welcomed, and it grew from there.
Great. Well, this has been great advice. Hopefully this will help the people that are wanting to develop their own professional networks. Thanks very much.
You're welcome.